6,170 pounds, Wildwood 27 D-Bud Bunkhouse landing here at Haywood RV of Coldwater, Michigan. This should fall within the realm of properly equipped half-tons or larger SUVs. And overall, I like the size and the simplicity. This is kind of my style of camping. Don't get me wrong, I love the big fancy glamping fifth wheels like, you know, that guy in the background. But this one right here, this is what I need just to take my family out and have a good weekend. Now, there's good and bad with everything, and with this one, unfortunately, it has had a leak. That being said, it is small, and they have resealed that area extensively, and we're going to take a look at that first, and stay tuned to the end for a little word from the nerd verdict. And if you like what you see here, if you appreciate what we do for you, shooting you straight on these used RVs, please make sure you subscribe and follow along so you can keep in the loop of everything we have coming for you from Haywood RV. So let's get that scary stuff out of the way first, because if that's a deal breaker, we obviously fully understand and respect that. My personal opinion, it's not that big a deal. And because it's not flawless, it's the kind of thing that we take into account. Now, here's a good example of, you know, why I think we do a good job for you here at Haywood RV. Do you see any real obvious signs of leaks up here? Because I don't. I had to look really hard for this, and I know what I'm looking for. It's the kind of thing that on camera, I don't know that you'd ever see unless I went way out of my way to see it. But right up there, right by that piece of trim, there's the tiniest spot of rippled kind of wall paneling, ceiling paneling. That's all we're talking about, guys. When you hear the word leak, you think, oh man, I could punch my hand through the wall and there's going to be holes in the floor. That's not at all what we're talking about in this one. It is really minor. But that it doesn't matter if it's major or minor. If it's there, you deserve to know about it, and we will make you aware. And in a sense, it's not necessarily all bad news. Because it is a defect, no matter how minor, we take that into account when we start applying pricing here at Haywood RV. We always work to try to provide fair and decent pricing to folks. And if something's not right, obviously, it shouldn't be a full sticker tag or, you know, suggested book guide value or whatever. So we're always trying to be reasonable when we look at this stuff. Now, other than that, though, like, I would still camp in this. I would camp in this absolutely no hesitation because it is so exceptionally minor. So what else do we have? Well, we've got a 6'9" ceiling giving us that bigger height, which is going to be very nice in the shower. Central air, central heat. It's not an Arctic camper, but it's made for good spring, summer, fall camping. We'll look at some more storage like that big bonus drawer below the sofa, as well as some of the storage there below the dinette. Now, that dinette can fold down into a large sleeper, which I don't know that you're really going to need it a lot, most folks, obviously, because we've got those corner double bunks already kind of sitting there waiting for us. I just don't know how much more sleeping a lot of folks are really going to need in here. Now, if you've got big kids, if you've got multiple people, if you have kids bringing friends, extra guests, giant Labrador, you got a xylophone, I don't know. You could pack this thing up like crazy. You could do quite a bit with it. Now, over here, we'll come back and get a more in-depth look at the kitchen. But if you notice, there is a spot right here that, whether it's wardrobe or pantry or a combination of both, is probably going to be some of your most valuable storage in the RV. And if you take a look at this, you'll see it's basically, by default, set up as closet space, but you could very easily add some shelving or storage units into there. The drawers down below, super handy. Again, drawers are one of those things I just don't know that there's ever too much of in an RV, and I'll take as many as I can get. What's nice is in the kitchen, if you include these, it has 6, but it has 3 others dedicated just to the kitchen. These are not quite double beds. I'm going to call it like a 1.5-er kind of thing. They're wider than a single bunk. They're not quite as wide as a true double bunk. I haven't bothered measuring them out because they are a little uncommon in size. I don't know offhand exactly what they are. I also didn't happen to bring a tape measure with me, so that's probably a factor. Now, this is what's called a split bath, if you're not familiar, where the sink is in is outside of the main bathroom cavity. Now, that feels weird to some folks because you don't have that in your home bathroom, like if you're new to RVing, but it's very handy in a bunk model like this with a lot of kiddos because one kiddo could be using the potty, taking a bath, shower, whatever. Somebody else could be washing their hands, brushing their teeth, and you don't have to utilize the kitchen sink to do those things. This is a simple serious camper, so we don't have fancy pants like solid surface counters or, you know, stainless steel sinks over here. It's simple, it's direct, it's effective, but it has the things that matter. You know what? Plastic sink works just as good as a stainless sink at the end of the day. Frankly, it does. This has, you know, flat panel cabinet doors, not raised panel cabinet doors. It does have a full medicine cabinet. It's got the stuff that matters. It also had, I was actually quite pleased with this, a decent amount of legroom there, even for a big old goofball like me. And that taller ceiling also meant more headroom in the shower. Now, this one was optioned and built with both the skylight and the shower surround panel, neither of which are actually standard Salem features for this model year, so I think it is well equipped. And they did upgrade the shower head here. A lot of people go with these like Homedics varieties just for something with a little more water pressure. Coming back out the other direction, I said we'd take a look at the kitchen. I want to look at all the storage here because there's quite a bit going on. Like, where do I begin? Let's start with the sofa. This has this huge drawer below the sofa right here. Now the sofa can fold down into a small sleeper, and this is really the beginnings of what later became like the Wildwood Versa Lounge like you find here at Haywood RV. If you're not aware, Salem and Wildwood are like sister brands. They're basically, well, not basically, they're clones of one another. Come on, camera. There we go. They're the exact same camper, just with different exterior colors and decals. Other than that, they're literally the same thing. They're built by the same people. They run down the same production line literally at the same time. You get the idea. Sliding privacy doors for the master bedroom. And you see how the TV enclosure does spin around. Now, there's no TV on it, but there's a nice handy bracket there. TVs are going to be something that was not standard on this. I suspect somebody added that nicely, but decided, hey, we're going to keep our TV. They actually traded in this Salem right here for a Grey Wolf 29 TE, my famous RV nerd Tedward Edward model. And they basically, the biggest thing they were looking for is to gain a private bunk room, which that one obviously accomplishes. Now, I've always liked brands that do this. J-Flight's very good about it. Wildwood, and by extension, Salem, very good about adding shelving to that overhead cabinet space. Now, the camper is not level right now, so our little hidden countertop swing-out pantry keeps wanting to swing shut on me. And normally I would say that if that didn't have the shelf in there, that'd be a good wastebasket space, but I think they definitely got the wastebasket space thing licked here pretty well. And like most RV ovens, especially here in the Midwest, sure don't look like she was used. Maybe the stove, maybe, sparingly, but not much. I like these segmented top drawers. I remember J-Flight used to do that, and they kind of went away from it. I wish they'd bring that back. That is not Bluetooth and all that fancy stuff, by the way. This is a little older, a little simpler. It does, however, have this little remote control where if you want to, be able to operate your awning, even your power corner jacks that this has, we haven't even got to that yet. You can do those kind of things off of here. Again, we got the sliding doors. Now, just like today, like the Wildwoods that we have, like a lot of brands, this was built with a Camp Queen, but it left the room to upgrade to the 60 by 80 True Queen that we're looking at right here. So that is a True Queen bed. This is True Queen bed capable, obviously. Beyond that, though, it is very simple. Remember that if you want to, you can flip the TV around here into the bedroom. Now, again, I want to be fair. If I see something, I want to say something. I noticed a funny thing over here. I noticed that was swollen a little bit, which implies water exposure. But thing is, water goes down with gravity, and everything above it is solid. So I'm frankly at a little bit of a loss where it came from. I can only guess something like water, a glass of water got spilled here or something. I'm not sure exactly where that came from. But again, if I see it, I'm going to say something because, this is all solid. It was very brief and localized, whatever it was. And a quick look with the slide closed for, travel or, pack 'em up friendly campiness, something like that. Is that even a thing? I don't know. You get the idea. Now, it's tight, but you can kind of wiggle weave your way through here. It gives you, it's nice that you have this extra large countertop, but it does mean you have to kind of cruise around it. But the good news is, well, you can. Also, this is a really smart interesting way. Previous owners made sure that their fridge doors were not going to go flinging open in transit with those little kind of storage blue locks in the fridge door right there. It's simple, but it's smart, it's effective, it costs you nothing, and it sure don't hurt anything. Now, it's a little tricky when we get back here, because this does have such an aggressive big dinette. The good news is, with this cutaway up top here, you could kind of step over that bed, and you'd be able to get yourself back here to the bathroom. So, it's not necessarily, it's not like you can't just walk straight through it, but I do think it still qualifies as full travel friendly. It's not the most convenient, but it is still accessible. It's not that bad. Big pass-through on these, and if you're looking up there, you might actually see there are gas struts to lift that bed easily to get to this storage. Now, quick housekeeping note. You see the bars for the weight distribution system from the previous owners. I am actually recording this, technically, before the trade has been complete. Like you will see, the saddles for the weight distribution hitch are still on the tongue right there. I believe they are transferring their hitching to their new Grey Wolf here at Haylett RV. So I do not believe the bars or those hitch saddles will be present on the RV when you come to review it in person and take it home. I just always want to make sure that we have good information. And if they are there, fantastic. But I'd rather play it a little safe. I don't want to make you a promise or even present the idea and not even state it overtly, only to have you show up and be like, oh, you sleazy people tricked me. And that's just, it's not who we are. We're family owned, family operated. I am an SOB with a PhD, son of the boss whose parent had a dealership. But I was very fortunate, I had very good leadership and training here, and we try to conduct ourselves with transparency and integrity. Power tongue jack on the front doing the heavy lifting for us. Power awning with LED lighting on the other side. We'll see back in a minute. This is power corner stabilizer jacks as well. Now, the underbelly of this is not specifically enclosed, protected. The newest generation of Salem Wildwoods does have a heated underbelly. This was built before that had happened, though. Here's the cool thing, though. It still has protected water lines. So the water lines and all that stuff actually run through the floor that we were walking on. It's got a 5/8 tongue and groove plywood floor decking with 12-inch on-center floor studs. And they run all the water lines through there to keep it insulated and protected organically. It's not necessarily the same as a heated enclosed belly, but it is better than having all of that stuff exposed. Now, like I said, the entire rear half of the roof has basically been heavily resealed. When they found that little leak, they went, nope, we ain't doing that. And they jumped all over it. And this is, you know, some people like a camp kitchen. Some people don't. I just like having variety here at Haylett RV because there is no wrong answer to that equation. You can see that this one just gives us a huge chunk of storage space. Tires look absolutely fantastic. I like the little preventative mud dauber screens to keep bugs from getting into your, you know, propane burning appliance outlets effectively. So what's my verdict? I like that this one falls within that half-ton towable range or big SUV towable range. I like that it has generally pretty good travel accessibility. I like the extra interior height. Obviously that leak is a little bit of a bummer. But overall, other than just needing a bath, I think she fits. If you are looking for your first camper, or if you're upgrading from something with no slide to something with a slide, you're gonna like this. This is gonna be a fun time, a fun experience for you and your family. So give us a call here at Haylett RV. Hitching, pieces, parts, trades, finance, truck and trailer package deals, RV delivery, and everything between. Please make sure you subscribe to our videos here. Take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone. Thanks so much.